Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Ask an Architect segment where you, the public, get to ask me anything you want, and if it's appropriate, I will answer it. If you're interested in submitting a question, you can submit it to aaa@domum.design. Our question today comes from Kent, and Kent is asking, do I need an architect? Well, Kent, I'm a little offended that you would even ask that question, but it's a valid one. And I think really when I hear that question, the thing I'm hearing from people is, are architects expensive? Should I pay extra money to have an architect involved? Now, there's two parts to my answer on this question. One is a legal point, and each state has their own requirements for this, but I'll talk specifically to California. And in California, there's certain building types that you can design and prepare the documentation for without an architect's license. And typically those are single-family residential projects, duplexes, farm buildings. You can check the code and see what the legal requirements are there. But beyond that, if you're doing a large multifamily development, mixed-use project, commercial, retail, restaurant, if you're doing any sort of new construction or remodels, depending on the scope of the remodel, you do need to have a licensed architect involved. So that would be the legal portion of it. Now, as far as on the residential side, where maybe legally an architect's not required, and maybe, Kent, that's where your question's coming from, is, do I need an architect to remodel my house? Again, it's a question of value. And for me, we've been doing residential work for over 20. I've personally been doing residential work for over 20 years. And, to have somebody with experience and who's gone through a licensing process gives you a bit more assurance that there's some expertise there. Also, again, on the residential side, having the support of a formal architect's office often is a great value to the homeowner. I would say the number one thing in hiring any designer is making sure you have a good rapport with them and making sure you click and that they will be your partner moving forward. If you have a question about how to hire an architect, we've actually put together a great guide, and the link to access that is below. It's a little white paper on how to hire an architect. And go ahead and download that and take a look at it. If you'd like to talk more about this topic, feel free to, also in the show notes, click the link to schedule an Ask the Expert call with me, and that will be a one-on-one 30-minute phone consultation. We can answer your questions and talk about your project and see if we're a good fit. And maybe we're not, but I'll let you know. We can talk it through. So once again, that's another Ask an Architect segment, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.